So we've got our part X and Y value, and then we can go to our draw event, and we already have a for loop for our number of bodies. So let's add in our particles. So this is going to be draw sprite. Our sprite is going to be sprite 2. I really should name this, but sub image, that's where color is going to come in. Boom. Oh, right, this needs to be in a for loop, right? So for j equals 0. Oh, right, I forgot to change this to number of parts array, but that goes there. And then it's going to be j++. And now we're going to draw a particle for each of these parts, but we also need to add the x and y values of our particle. So that's going to be x and y. And actually, it's only 2 pixels, but just for funsies, let's center the origin. Okay, we just did a quite decent amount of coding without testing anything. So here comes the fun part. This might absolutely explode, but legendary moment if I get it on my first try. I am wrought with anticipation. Okay, so what I'm going to do in C# is I'll make each of these rings its own object. Unfortunately, in GameMaker, you can't make classes. You can't make classes that aren't game objects in GameMaker. So if I want to have a class, it is going to take up resources, and GameMaker is going to loop through them, and it's really stupid and slows everything down. In C#, you can have things that are actual classes and are actual types. So each ellipse on the tornado is going to be its own class, and then I'm going to have the ellipse control its own particle system. So this will be a lot cleaner in C# than it is right now. And I could clean it up in GameMaker some, but its final resting place is not GameMaker, so I haven't really bothered to do it just yet. So this height interpolator needs to become an array. You are an array now. This ellipse offset needs to become an array. You are an array now. And this needs to get replaced with height interpolator array. I believe we have other... First of all, we can just throw ellipse offset into here. The other nice thing, so Visual Studio will ask me if I want to update the names of things everywhere, and will also give me underlines if I don't have variables being used. And GameMaker makes me sad, because all of that is gone. Ah! That is the exact same bug. Oh my gosh. This is what happens when you code this much without testing. This time for sure. Wow. I didn't even compile that time. Holy crud. Well, I forgot to tell it where the center of each ellipse is. Okay, that should be really easy. That should be really, really easy. So we have center X and center Y. So all we're gonna do is add that. So center X plus and center Y. But hey, it compiled this time. How cool is that? Yeah, so it's doing everything I told it to do, but at 0, 0. Now we need to move the particles so that they're relative to the tornado, not relative to the top left corner of the screen. That's it. That is it. And now what we can do, this is the fun part, I'm actually going to comment out drawing the ellipse. That's it. That's our tornado. Okay. I think we need them to move faster and possibly in the opposite direction. Oh, but one other thing. So let's do this. That doesn't have to be our particle. Watch this. I'm going to try to make like a smoky kind of effect. Make this a little more cloudy. Like, come on, how cool is that? That is so sick. So let me make this a little easier to see. Wow, so sick, dude. I appreciate you. I'm glad you're as excited about this as I am. So, okay, yeah, I can re-explain that. The number is not exactly the FPS. Okay, so this is what it looks like by itself. That's pretty sick. The number is not exactly the FPS. So I can actually, since we're all math nerds here, I'll just kind of draw it out for you. So when the game attempts to draw a screen, right, it takes a certain amount of time for it to draw everything, right? Let's say that takes 0.01 millisecond, okay? And just as a reference, our speed here is 30, okay? So we have 30 FPS. So let's say it takes 0.01 milliseconds to draw this frame. And that includes the processing update event. So in our tornado, under the step event, we also have this bit of logic for finding the position of the particle. And that's another thing, by the way. GameMaker is always single-threaded, but when we move this to C#, we can make it multi-threaded to take advantage of people with stronger CPUs. If you don't have a stronger CPU, it should be fine, but I do want to maximize what you get out of your setup. Anyway, let me pull out a calc real quick. There are 30 frames per second. So 1 divided by 30, there's 0.033 seconds per frame. And if I multiply that by 1,000, that's 33 milliseconds. So if we come back here, this is not 0.001 milliseconds, this is just 1 millisecond. And we'll say it takes 33 milliseconds per frame. Okay? If it took 1 millisecond to draw this frame, and we have 33 milliseconds before the next frame, then the game is going to wait 32 milliseconds. That FPS number that I showed you is essentially saying it only took me 1 millisecond. I could have done that 33 times. So, what I'm going to show is 33 times my frame rate, which is 30. So my final number is 660. So basically it's saying it could have drawn this frame 660 times per second.
Oh, that's so embarrassing! 30 times 33 is 990.
Just blanket the technology as a game and secretly use up all my CPU cores to mine Stinky Coin. I'm putting you in charge of making Stinky Coin so I can do that. You're officially the Stinky Coin man. Actually, I had a thought. I know what I'm going to call my chat from now on. So, tell me if you guys have ever heard of rubber ducky programming. It's this concept where rubber ducky programming. Look at him. We're going to pretend that doesn't suck. That's it. Actually, no. This is my bird now. Train of thought is gone. Missing hat. Thanks for the Subway Surfers. Rubber ducky programming. When you have a bug in your code, some programmers will actually take like a real rubber ducky and explain their code to the rubber ducky. Because sometimes when you explain your code, you go, I don't understand why this isn't working. I did this, and that's supposed to add to this number, and then I have a loop here where it... Oh, wait a minute. I forgot to add the loop. All because you explained it to somebody, you know? So if I was just staring at the code, I might stare at it for hours, but if I explain it to somebody, boom. I found the bug. Happy ending. And yeah, that's rubber ducky programming. And since I'm explaining everything to you guys are my rubber duckies. So that's chat. Chat is rubber duckies. You guys are my rubber duckies. Thank you. Thank you for coming to my rubber ducky talk. Very important. Extremely important. I love you, bird. Anyway, chat finally useful for real. There's also another thing which I'm really glad I'm not gonna have to do. It's pretty hard to tell, but the way we have it going right now is the particle that's drawn last is always drawn in front. Even when it gets to the back, and it should be drawn behind everything, it is still getting drawn in front of everything. I thought I was going to have to do some tech wizardry and sort everything, but now that I'm looking at it, I don't think it needs it, and it's just going to be a waste of frame rate. But it's super easy to do. It's super easy to sort when I move it over to C#, so I'll at least try it. We'll at least see what it looks like. Maybe it'll look way better, and I'm just coping. One thing I'm thinking about, though, can you make the tornado green? I absolutely can make the tornado green. We're gonna do draw sprite ext. I don't know why you want it to be green, though. Actually, suddenly I'm concerned. Why do you want this to be green? But this probably isn't gonna work. I'm just gonna colorize it, which multiplies the color. It might end up just turning black because... Oh no, it'll turn whatever amount of green there is in yellow. I was thinking of real-life primary colors, but this is not real-life primary colors. This is computer. He wants it to be stinky. Well, there you go. There's your stinky tornado. In fact, it's now his stinky. It's Bird's stinky tornado. It's coming out of his backside. From his armpits. It's coming from his armpits. I think it's that time. I agree, but can it have Google eyes? Edit sprite. Paste. It's very important. Get rid of as much as I can. Oh, actually, hold on. My brain is working. Oh my god. This is incredible, guys. This is art. Oh, you're right. It does need the Raymond Rabbit hands. Why are you guys so smart? This is like gonna be super massive, right? You know what else is massive? The low taper fade meme. My debt to income ratio. I am very sorry. Yeah, that'll do. It's Rayman, not Raymond. What is wrong with me? How did I mess that up? Okay. Well, this is just exactly what we wanted. How would you position the eyes? Just on top of the tornado, or is it a layering thing, or what? So the entire tornado is being drawn at depth 0, and the googly eyes are going to be drawn at depth -100. So the way it works is things with a lower depth value are drawn in the back, because you can imagine they're like far away. They're 100 meters away from you. Whereas things with a negative value or a smaller value are drawn closer. So you can imagine like it's -100 meters away from you, which doesn't make sense, but is conceivably closer than 0. Anyway, I feel like putting it on top at a fixed point would be funniest. That is exactly what's happening. Like, the tornado is constantly motion sick. Please help him. I'm sorry. Yeah, it's actually going on a fixed point because that requires me to program the least amount of things, and I prefer not programming ever. And I'm having to guesstimate where these various appendages need to go. Oh, he looks like he's reaching for me. I'm not happy. Chat did not cook. Chat did not cook with this one. There isn't even a tornado yet, and I'm uncomfortable. Unironically hate him. He's not even real yet. Now he's real. Chat did not cook. The googly eyes were a great idea. The Raymond hands, whoever came up with that, shame on you. In fact, I'm going to scroll up and figure out who came up with that. That's right. I'm going to find you. It was Grubs Gaming 2K. Grubs Gaming 2K. Shame on you. The hands are crazy. I just lost the game. And now you all lost the game. Yes, Cool Barrio, you did step away to work, and now the tornado has eyes. Chat did not cook. The tornado is also green. I don't know if you were here for this. We did a good job. We added particles. Look at those particles. Remember when it just looked like this? Look at this. Look how far we've come. Remember when this was just this? Not that long ago, it was just this. And then it was this, and now we cooked. We cooked. I take it back. The hands are great. We cooked. You guys are awesome. I love you all. Good night.